Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Dati. Let's bring you the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
President John Dramani Mahama reaffirms his commitment to safeguarding independence of the judiciary as he swears in Paul Bafuboni as Chief Justice.
And also coming up tonight, Finance Minister faces mounting pressure from traders over new value-added tax registration threshold.
And also coming up, construction works on the Nsawam-Pokwase Highway progressing steadily.
In business news, in about 35 minutes, Ghana Revenue Authority optimistic about significant increase in revenue mobilization post-2026 budget amid deployment of artificial intelligence for improved efficiency.
On the international front, armed men have killed a teacher and abducted at least 25 students in an attack on a girls' secondary school in northwestern Nigeria.
We have details of all these stories and many more coming up in the next 1 hour. Do stay with us.
We're starting from the seat of government because President John Dramani Mahama says his government remains committed to safeguarding the independence of the judiciary. At the swearing-in of Justice Paul Bafuboni as Chief Justice of the Republic, President Mahama noted that the various arms of government must operate independently and also collaborate for the common good. Meanwhile, Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni says the judiciary must protect the vulnerable and resist undue influence.
I, Paul Bafuboni,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
After 8 months of acting as the Chief Justice, Paul Bafuboni JSC receives the warrant of office as Chief Justice. Swearing by the cross to 3 oaths, he affirmed his dedication to service as Chief Justice, the beginning of a continued justice delivery process that assures of dedication and fairness, respect for all, and timely delivery. Swearing in the 16th Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana since independence, the President stressed the importance of maintaining a delicate balance of power among the executive, legislature, and the judiciary.
Even as we emphasize independence, we must also recognize the need for cooperation among the 3 arms of government. The judiciary needs an enabling legal framework, adequate budgetary allocation, and supportive policies. The executive and the legislature, on their parts, require timely and impartial judicial interpretations of the law and the Constitution. In my administration's reset agenda and broader reforms, we see the judiciary as a critical partner in building a just, prosperous, and stable Ghana. We will engage with your office in a spirit of consultation and respect, while scrupulously preserving your independence in the performance of your judicial functions.
Collaboration remains key for a reset agenda with a further call for expansion and modernization of court infrastructure.
The expectations of our people in you are high, and so too are their hopes. And so I charge you to lead with courage, even when decisions are difficult or unpopular.
Justice Paul Bafuboni remarked the reinforcement for a judiciary that upholds the rule of law, respects court decisions, ensuring transparency and accessibility.
Our judiciary must be independent, impartial, and accessible. It must not serve the powerful or the connected at the expense of the weak and the vulnerable. It must resist any incursions on its freedoms, but also embrace accountability, transparency, and continuous reform.
A leadership that Paul Bafuboni assumes with utmost expectations. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Jubilee House, Accra.
Right, let's go to the phone lines now and speak to Inus Afuseni, who is a private legal practitioner and a former member of parliament himself. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Good evening to you.
Thank you for having me, and good evening to you and your viewers.
Right, I'm sure one of the key bones of contention would be how the judiciary can be independent and also collaborate with the other arms of government. There seems to be a blurred line, you know, when they have to wear these two hats. How would you advise this Chief Justice to navigate this challenge?
First of all, it is the Constitution that guarantees the independence of the judiciary. And so our Constitution clearly contains provisions that leaves no one in doubt that the principle of separation of powers is enshrined in our Constitution. The judiciary, the executive, and the legislature are bodies created by the Constitution with delimited powers. And where they are operating within their powers, no institution can interfere in the conduct of their mandate or in the performance of their duties. But that doesn't mean that we have a rigid system of separation of powers, because it is the president who has appointed the Chief Justice. It is Parliament that vetted the Chief Justice. And so that alone should lead you to an understanding that these arms of government, even though have duties to perform, which duties are given to them by the Constitution, collaborate to make the work of government smooth, to ensure that this country can move further and in the right direction. And so I will encourage the judiciary to continue to hold fast to the tenets of justice, the dispensation of justice, and also to their mandate as enshrined in the Constitution.
Right.
But to not hesitate in holding the executives accountable and striking down legislation, if in the view of the judiciary, that legislation is unconstitutional. That will be perfectly within their mandate. But also to see reason not to delay unnecessarily the delivery of justice, because justice denied, a justice delayed is justice denied.
Right. And Counsel, the other major hurdle that this Chief Justice and probably those before him have been trying to do or manage is the image of the judiciary. Over the last few years, concerns have been that it has been dragged in the mud and has been, you know, accused of many shady deals or movements. So generally, the cleansing of the image of the judiciary is going to be one of his tasks. Is there a way you would hope that he approaches this?
So we are a country based on the rule of law. The judiciary itself is governed by the rule of law. And so what Justice Bafuboni, Chief Justice, will be doing in the limited time that he has at the bench as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana will be to entrench obedience to the rule of law and ensure that discretion or discretionary use of power is limited to the requirement of the Constitution as much as possible.
Right. Counsel, thank you so much for your time. Inus Afuseni, private legal practitioner, former member of Parliament. Thank you for your time as always.
In more news tonight, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, fears government's new value-added tax restructuring will create severe discrepancies in the retail market and undermine compliance efforts. The association, while lauding government for the currency stability and business growth, says the tax divisions will erode their gains.
Finance Minister Dr. Kasia Latofo-Singh, during the presentation of the 2026 budget, announced series of tax reforms, including a reduction of the effective VAT rate from 21.9% to 20% and an increase in the VAT registration threshold from 200,000 cedis to 750,000 cedis. Government says the move is to ease the tax burden on small and medium-scale businesses. But the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Joseph Obing, believes the new VAT structure will rather squeeze traders. According to him, the shift from the 4% flat rate to the standard 20% VAT will significantly push up operating costs for many in the trading community.
When the threshold was 200,000, it was still creating disparities because customers come and they go to wherever they want to buy, and even that we are complaining, especially when we are in the same vicinity of trading. And then also the affordability of the tax is also compromised because most of us were paying the 4% flat rate, and now we are being made to pay 20%. It's a huge gap.
He is urging government to apply the modified tax system universally across the informal sector instead of what he describes as a split market that disadvantages certain groups.
So this is what is going to happen. It's going to make compliance rather very difficult because we are operating in the same vicinity of trading. We are trading in the same commodity lines, and then by virtue of the threshold we have been segregated. How do you even determine the threshold? And it's going to also push so many people to reduce the scope of their businesses in order to survive.
And on government's plan to curb under-invoicing through digitization and artificial intelligence, GUTA president argues that the more effective step will be to reduce duty charges to encourage transparency among importers.
The economy has been so stabilized. The finance minister have promised that they are going to sustain the gains. When the president said that we are going to rationalize the tax system, we are very happy because then we have to talk about rationalizing the tax, and then we can use the AI to make sure that if the taxes have been made simpler and cheaper, then you do not have to dodge it.
GUTA is expected to meet officials at the Finance Ministry in the coming days to demand adjustments before the new measures take effect.
Now let's go to Parliament, where the House will engage in fierce debates on the 2026 budget from Tuesday, November 18, with members expected to approve various estimates for the ensuing year. The first day of the debate will feature key sectors like finance, economy, budget and public interest under agreed time allotments for the commitment and the commentaries.
The debate on the 2026 budget statement precedes the approval of the appropriation and various estimates for ministries, departments and agencies. It comes after the Finance Minister on Thursday, November 13th, presented the 2026 budget in which he announced the cancellation of the COVID-19 levy.
With the support of this House, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to say that I'm happy to announce that today, COVID-19 levy is accordingly abolished. Mr. Speaker, by abolishing the COVID-19 levy, government is putting 3.7 billion Ghana cedis in the pockets of individuals and businesses in 2026.
To ensure insightful debating process, Parliament has held 3 days post-budget workshop to equip MPs with relevant details and technical knowledge of the budget.
The economic difficulties our people face today, whether in the rising of costs of living, high unemployment, or limited access to credit, demand that we, as representatives of the people, engage the budget with clarity, compassion, and responsibility.
We, as parliamentarians, must therefore scrutinize the budget thoroughly, ensuring that allocations are equitable, realistic, and results-oriented.
From agriculture to finance, sports and transport, members of parliament will debate sectoral issues as scheduled for assigned days. The minority has already expressed fear of a difficult 2026.
With the significant billions of dollars of interventions, we expected the rate to be around 8 cedis to $1. But the market's muted response reveals a sophisticated understanding that currency strength cannot be purchased. It must be earned through sound economic fundamentals. We can therefore, in conclusion, describe the 2026 budget, the Galamsey budget, as growthless, jobless, and minimalist budget. It contains only cosmetic rhetorics presented by a crawling government.
The conversations arrive with industry players and consumers already sharing split opinions. The minority and majority leaders will conclude the debate on Wednesday, November 26th, after which the House will approve the appropriation. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Away from the 2026 budget, construction works are steadily progressing on the Nsawam-Pokwase Highway. Residents and commuters who rely on this stretch daily say the ongoing works have brought renewed hope. Daryl Adozo was at the construction site and filed this report.
The Nsawam-Pokwase Highway remains one of the busiest routes in Ghana. Yet for years it has deteriorated into a deplorable state, causing frustration for motorists and residents who depend on it every day. After countless appeals for government action, the road is finally receiving a major facelift. Visible improvement can already be seen as construction machines work around the clock to reshape and restore the highway. Engineer Abdullahi Mahama, who leads the technical team on site, says the project is progressing steadily and is expected to be completed by April 2026.
I am the technical engineer who is supposed to do the works on the site. So far, so good. Work hasn't stalled since the president visited here. In fact, we are working day and night. If you were here yesterday, which was a Sunday, we were in full capacity. All the workers were working day and night. The bridge works, which are not affected by any of the nature, mostly we work throughout the night, and then some of the drains, all the concrete works. Where we have few challenges, there's illuminations to enhance the vision of the workers to work within the night. And then if you look at the other stretch from Media all the way to Nsawam Junction, where we have some challenges, some of the relocations has been done. Some few outstanding Ghana water lines are being identified within the corridor, which we are actively relocating. I'm sure that when we are done with those ones, the work would be completed in earnest. Okay.
Some commuters shared their daily experiences on the stretch and expressed their expectations for the ongoing reconstruction.
We can see work is actively going on. When the government took a firm decision to work on the road, we pray they continue with their fast pace to complete the road. This government has heard our cries and brought in a contractor to fix the road. Much improvement has since been seen.
So far, so good. Much improvement.
The Ofankon Sawam project began in July 2022 with an initial completion date set for July 2024. However, the project stalled for several months due to mounting debt. Construction resumed after the Mahama administration mobilized funds to clear the arrears. The project has since been reassigned as part of the Big Push initiative. For now, commuters are watching closely and urging the contractor to maintain the pace to ensure the project is completed on time.
Let's go to some other stories now. The Ghana Armed Forces has announced new measures following last week's deadly stampede during the 2025-2026 recruitment exercise in the Greater Accra region. The incident, which left 6 people dead and several others injured, has triggered a full-scale investigation and major reforms in the recruitment process. Elsie Edu has more in this report.
What began as a routine recruitment exercise quickly escalated into chaos. Thousands of applicants massed at the Yelwak Sports Stadium. Poor crowd control and clear communication and growing anxiety triggered a sudden rush, leaving 6 applicants dead after a stampede, while others sustained injuries. In the immediate aftermath, the Ghana Armed Forces suspended the entire Greater Accra recruitment exercise and set up a board of inquiry to establish what went wrong and who may be held responsible. Deputy Minister for Defence Ernest Brigadier Jemfi visited some of the injured and the families of the deceased. He outlined government support plans for both survivors and the bereaved.
His Excellency the President has directed that we give the opportunity to the family to replace all these 6 dead persons. Not only that, His Excellency the President has also directed that all injured persons involved in this tragic incident be also given the automatic qualification to be recruited to the Ghana Armed Forces.
Days after the tragedy, the Ghana Armed Forces announced that the recruitment exercise in the Greater Accra region will resume on Thursday, 20th November 2025, but under much stricter protocols. A statement signed by Acting Director General of Public Relations, Captain Veronica Adjo-Ahen, confirmed that the screening will now be decentralized across 8 sub-centers. These include Elwak Stadium, Nicholson Park at Bema Camp, Air Force Base at Bema Camp, 2 centers at Tradok in Teshi, and the Eastern Naval Command in Tema. Under the revised arrangement, applicants will report strictly in batches of 600, and only those who receive official SMS notifications will be admitted into any center. Vice Chairperson of the Defense and Interior Committee, Peter Tobu, believes the problem goes beyond crowd behavior, pointing instead to inadequate planning and coordination.
We are talking about a national picture, and the national picture will reflect on agencies. It is a national issue. Do we plan well? Planning is something that, as a country, we have a challenge. That when we have a 40-year development plan, somebody comes and says, I will not use that. I develop my own thing. We have Vision 2020. Where did it end? It ended nowhere. So as a country, we should come back, all of us, not just the armed forces. All of us should come back together and say, let the plans be strict and let the plans work. Let's follow the plan, irrespective of which party is in power. If the plan is this, that will carry us to this level, you need to carry the people to where they ought to be, not necessarily where they want to be.
The Board of Inquiry continues its investigations, and the Armed Forces has assured the public that anyone found culpable will be sanctioned.
In more news tonight, fraudulent visa applications are on the rise in Ghana, prompting warnings from 3 major foreign missions. The UK, Canadian and Australian High Commissions say thousands of applicants risk long-term travel bans if they fall prey to the scam.
Reports indicate that about 1,632 Ghanaian applicants used fraudulent means to apply for UK visas in 2024. According to the UK High Commissioner, many were misled by agents, but the consequence is often a 10-year travel ban, even for applicants who may not have been aware. To protect genuine applicants, the missions are warning Ghanaians to be cautious of anyone promising shortcuts or guaranteed results. The High Commissions are intensifying public education on the dangers of visa scams, promoting safe application practices, and encouraging the use of official government channels. Fraud and security consultant Richard Kumado says the warnings are meant to alert both applicants and agents who attempt to exploit people with false documentation.
People are afraid to apply for visa directly, and so you have agents who collect huge sums of money from them, and they put in their documents, and sometimes they don't even know the documents they are putting in. Then you also have a group of people who have big connections within government, not NDC government or NPP government, but all our governments, and they travel with government agencies, and they change applications and change titles for certain people. So these embassies are raising the alarm now, and they are flashing out the red flag, and to set as a warning to people who will want to take advantage of next year's World Cup and dupe people or apply for wrong documentations, and they wouldn't get a visa.
He has called on the police CID to issue a statement to further protect the public from falling victim to visa scams.
Ghana Police, the CID block, and the IGP and the Foreign Ministry must also issue some level of documents or some statements to that regard, because the ramifications are huge and people might not even be aware.
The campaign by the UK, Australian and Canadian High Commissions aims to protect applicants and strengthen the integrity of immigration systems.
Now, you may have seen a disturbing video circulating on social media showing a man violently beating a woman believed to be his wife. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has condemned the act, describing it as barbaric and a gross violation of the woman's rights. According to the ministry, it has contacted the Ghana Police Service, and investigators are currently looking into the matter. The ministry is also appealing to the public to provide any information that may assist in the investigation. It further emphasized that domestic and sexual-based violence remain a serious national concern and urged the public to report such incidents to ensure that perpetrators are held accountable.
Action Chapel International has launched the 45th edition of its highly anticipated Impact 2026 convention. The week-long event will take place from November 30 to December 7, 2026 in Accra, Ghana, and is expected to draw thousands seeking divine impartation, renewal, and life transformation.
Action Chapel International's Impact Convention is an annual 8-day spiritual gathering founded and hosted by Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. The gathering brings together thousands, both in person and online, for worship, prayer, prophetic teaching, impartation, and life-changing encounters. Over the years, it has become a major moment in the church calendar with high-profile speakers and powerful testimonies. The General Overseer of the Church, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, spoke about this year's edition.
At Impact, we are given the opportunity to learn principles and values that will help you do right by others so that others will do right by you. We learn principles that empowers you to be human and to also have your spirituality or your divinity intact. And so I look forward to hosting all of you to Impact this year, that it will be one of the best we've ever had.
As a result of the huge number of patrons expected, the church has promised effective security measures to prevent any unforeseen circumstances alongside other week-long activities planned. Under the theme, Let There Be a Performance, this year's convention will also feature renowned ministers, including Apostle Joshua Salman, Reverend Istut Anaba, Bishop Bernard Ojiri Asare, Reverend Tarobet Ampia Kofi, Apostle Isi Igenegba, and Reverend Dr. David Antwi.
So it's the Impact 2025 convention. Absolutely. Will you be there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every now and then we go and support. So do make a date. Stay with us. This is News 360 on TV3. We'll be back with more.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. President Charcoal has two latest powerful whitening ingredients with the power of activated charcoal
This, as I said, is a proof of concept as to whether the AI will work or not. So based on samples that we've done, we saw that the upside of revenue was between 40 to 45%. So it gives us a great confidence that when we deploy the AI, the level of discretion that we are trying to minimize, we can do that. But it was not also only on the revenue side. The AI also does risk profiling, particularly for areas like narcotics or goods that are harmful for consumption. Again, the AI will be able to give us indication if there's a shipment or container that is carrying harmful goods, and it allows us to risk profile and focus on it. So overall, we believe that the introduction of the AI tool for classification and valuation will lead to an upside of the revenue from custom duties. And when it does that way, at least going forward, it also gives us the opportunity to rationalize the charges in that area, as the President already indicated some time back.
Meanwhile, country manager for KPMG, Andrew Akoto, expressed confidence that the tax measures outlined in the 2026 budget could significantly improve Ghana's tax-to-GDP ratio. He was responding to a recent report by the International Monetary Fund, which found that Ghana remains well below its tax potential compared to other sub-Saharan African countries and global benchmarks.
It's very important that government continues to look at how they expand the tax bracket. In a sense, the current budget also made mention of course, taking away some existing tax programs, but also in its place, introducing innovation through the FEDS program and the rest. And it's our hope that with a number of these measures, it will allow the country to come up to the level which is at par with our peers. We've always known that our revenue to GDP ratio is not where it should be, but hopefully with a number of the measures announced, there will be the discipline and the resolve to make sure that they put in adequate safety measures to ensure their execution.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market.
Brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. The Black Stars wrapped up preparations for their final match in the 2025 Kirin Challenge Cup, but several key players will be absent as new injury concerns deepens, adding to Ghana's woes. The following report from 3 Sports provides more details.
Salisu and Antoine Semenyo are the 2 latest members of the Black Star squad who had to pull out of the Kirin Cup due to injuries. Monaco Salisu has a bilateral medial collateral ligament sprain, while Semenyo has a left anterior talofibular ligament sprain. Both players have returned to their respective clubs, while Francis Abu continues rehabilitation in Japan after his surgery.
Abu has been selfless and dedicated ever since he got the chance to play for the national team. So we are glad that through the efforts of these 3 different units, at the club level, at the national level, and also in Japan, we've been able to put our player in a very stable condition. He's looking very nice. He will be in Japan for the next 1 week. We have also decided that after tomorrow's game, one of the assistant coaches will join them in Nagoya and stay with him until 1 week, and then they will send him back to Toulouse for him to continue his recovery and rehabilitation.
Kamaldeen Sulemana is expected to take on the armband as the Black Stars look to bounce back from the 2-0 defeat against Japan. Although they defeated South Korea 3-2 in their last meeting at the 2022 World Cup, Otoado admits it will be a difficult encounter.
So we know them very well. It's going to be a difficult match. I think it's going to be even. We're looking forward for the match to tomorrow. The last time we met them was at the World Cup, where we won, but it was a very close match. And we're happy to be here.
The game will be live on Tuesday at 11 o'clock GMT at the World Cup Stadium in Seoul. This fixture will be aired live on TV3 and Dunia TV.
Well, let's do some more here where in a move aimed to unearthing talent and future prospects, Nestle Ghana has relaunched the Milo Under-13 Champions League after a 6-year break. There's more details in the following report.
The Milo Under-13 Champions League is poised to recommence in December following a 6-year hiatus, ushering a new era of Ghana's esteemed youth football tournament. This rejuvenated competition promises an overhauled format and expanded avenues for budding athletes to showcase their talent. The relaunch, held at Nestle Ghana's Accra headquarters on Friday, attracted prominent figures in sports administration and football development who gathered to witness the unveiling of a new logo and updated trophy from the collection of Abedi Pele. Serving as an ambassador for the event, Ghana's most capped player Andre Ayew emphasized the importance of guiding young athletes to achieve their potentials.
The earlier you start, the better it is. The earlier you learn about the game, about life, about team. But most importantly, when you start football very early, or any sports very early, but today we're talking about football, it takes you away from a lot of dangerous things in life when you're a youth. We know that we've had a lot of young people here who have difficulties in life, where their parents don't even have what it takes to give them a good life. But football, the fact that you love it and passion, when you go outside there and play, take you away from doing any bad things. So I believe that these kind of things, what Milo and Nestle Ghana are really doing is top. It's top class, it's top notch. We have to look how we're going to do more of this in our country more often, different stuff like that.
Meanwhile, Nestle Ghana's managing director, Salome Azevedo, urged participants to strike a balance between football and academics.
For Nestle and for the Milo brand, this is really ingrained in what we represent and what the brand stands for and what Nestle stands for. Unfortunately, for some years, we had to pause it, but we are truly, truly happy that we are bringing it back. It stands up for so much. Beyond sports, it stands up for promoting opportunities for these children to be seen. It stands up for teamwork, for discipline, and for grit, which are things that you will need in life throughout.
The tournament is designed to provide increased playing time and scouting opportunities, with all 16 regions represented in the national finals, scheduled to take place from December 3 to 6 at Pajo Park in Kumasi.
Well, that's all for the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampof. Remember that tomorrow at 11 a.m. here on TV3, we're bringing you the live telecast of the friendly match between South Korea and the Black Stars of Ghana. My name is Oreku Ampof.
In my line of work, a confident
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by GTP Lifestyle and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, on Sunday night, the contestants of TV3 Mentor stepped onto the big stage, delivering impressive vocals and captivating stagecraft that thrilled both the judges and the audience. Now, in the end, it was singer Andy Kwams who stole the spotlight with his exceptional vocal performance and was crowned the star performer of the night. The stage was set once again for all 16 contestants to entertain viewers and judges in their quest to secure a spot in the ongoing program. With Inspirational Nights as a theme, the contestants were tasked with performing songs that uplift the soul and stir the spirit of the viewers. Many understood the assignment and delivered impressive performances. Songs such as Rango by Stoneboy, My Help by On Gospel, and Praise by Fameye were among the numerous powerful selections rendered throughout the night. However, it was Redemption Song, the timeless classic released in 1980 by Bob Marley, beautifully performed by Andy Kwams, that earned him the star performer of the night.
Congratulations going out to you, Andy, our star performer for the evening.
According to the rules of the competition, the show has now entered its eviction stage. In the end, Green was sent home packing.
And wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
I didn't want to perform because I started crying. I started shaking. I was like, why did I even accept this opportunity? But God knows best. Because probably all the rush wasn't here for you to win, but probably have an experience. Maybe something better is coming. I didn't want to come. I forgot my lyrics and I met...
you forgot your lyrics yesterday?
I forgot the song, actually. The song I was supposed to sing. I forgot it because I was shaking and then I was like, somebody should play the song for me to listen to the song again. I'm not actually crying because I'm going home. I'm crying because I didn't know I'll be here. To watch myself on TV, actually watch, people watch all this, like...
It feels very unbelievable, huh?
Yes, because I have a story to really tell, a lot.
And you can put that through your music.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
Thank you so much, Noella. Coming up, international news.
Armed men have killed a teacher and abducted at least 25 students in an attack on girls' secondary school in northwestern Nigeria. Police say the gang invaded the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State at around 4 o'clock local time on Monday. The attackers engaged police personnel on duty in a gun duel before scaling the perimeter fence and seizing the students from their hostel. One member of staff was killed while trying to protect the students. A second sustained gunshot wounds and is now receiving treatment. Over the past decade, schools in northern Nigeria have become frequent targets for armed groups who often carry out abductions to seek ransom payments or leverage deals with the government. However, this is the first major school abduction since March 2024, when more than 200 pupils were seized from a school in Kuriga, Kaduna State. Ukraine will purchase up to 100 French-made Rafale fighter jets as well as anti-air defenses and drones from France. The Elysee Palace confirmed as Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky visited Paris on Monday. At a news conference, Zelensky told reporters that the deal would include 8 air defense systems and 6 launchers in what he described as an historic agreement.
Thank you so much for watching News 360. It was live from our studio here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. I am Martin Asiedu Date.
And I am Portia Gabo. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.